some potato pancakes today, and I have Jacob Moore here. He has an amazing organization. It's called No Stigmas. So I'm gonna let him tell you about that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, so No Stigmas is a mental health peer support community. It's built by people like me who have lived mental health experiences, and we teach people things like self-care, peer support, and how to connect in a communal environment.
And I love that because reaching out to other people a lot of times is very therapeutic for me too. And I do it in the kitchen all the time. I'm sometimes on the verge of tears, or I'm sometimes just laughing, having a great time in here. But as long as I'm with people and we bounce things off each other, it's a great support system.
And what better way to do it with good food that's nutritionally dense and good for your brain.
Yeah, and I did include a couple things that are really, really extra special for your brain. One of those is dill. It helps with depression. And then I have kale, which is full of folic acid, and that is another really amazing ingredient to make sure that your whole brain is getting fed like it should.
Two common things here, they're both green, right?
Yes.
Green is good for your brain.
Well, I'm going to point you around if you don't mind and get this started.
So I'm cooking.
You're cooking. So Jacob, first thing, we're going to cook this kale.
Okay.
Because, you know, crunchy kale is different than sauteed kale. So
for sure.
I'm going to let you go ahead and start this. I'm going to turn this on. 500, guys, if you're using an induction burner. If you have a real stove, unlike me, then go ahead and light your fire high. And go ahead and you're going to add about 16 ounces of vegan vegetable stock.
Veggie stock here,
Veggie stock going right into the pan. And then we're going to do about half of this. This is 2 ounces of garlic, about half. You're lucky. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. So this is our vegan cream cheese.
Right on.
Yep. So it adds as sort of a thickening agent. I like to season it with a little salt and pepper. So I just take the pepper, and I'm famous for just pinches, and I don't really...
To taste.
Yes, to taste. Whatever big your pinch is, you know, while that's cooking, I'm going to tell you about my taters.
That's something you hear every day.
No, that's a Midwest term. Potato is how you really say it, I guess. This is a Yukon Gold. They're different than Idaho. They don't have as much water, and they're more of a buttery flavor without having real butter. So what I do is I boil these for like 20 minutes, sometimes 25, depending on if they're steroidish, you know, big. But 20 minutes, and I go ahead and peel them, and I use a grater. And then after I grate them, they look like hash browns. Right? This is how it is, and I've already taken a paper towel and I've dried these out, because as they sit, the water just kind of sits in the bottom of it, and you want to make sure they're dry as possible. There's absolutely no water in here right now, so you're good to go. And then we're just going to stir that, all those little leaves full of the juice.
All the goodness.
And I'm noticing that it's like a little bit too liquidy, and I don't want a whole bunch of liquid into my potatoes. So I'm going to add some cheesy flavor, which is also another good brain food. This is what I call brain cakes. Nutritional yeast has an amazing amount of folic acid and B12 vitamins. It's a way to add like a cheesy flavor for vegans that don't eat cheese. And it's just kind of an amazing little, it's also a little bit of a thickener.
Yeah, okay, so you can use it for thickening.
Yeah, you can use it for thickening.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's awesome. I like to mix it with turmeric.
Ooh,
I think it gives it a nice little kick,
yes.
Some flavor.
I love it. Wow, you've been in the pantry before. That's not like most guys.
That is how I manage my mental health, is through nutrition. That's one of my biggest connects there.
Gee, that's so cool.
Yeah, a lot of your brain health starts in your gut.
There you have it.
Yeah. So what was this that you just put in?
So yeah, secret ingredient. I'm gonna tell you though, because you know I like you. There you go. That is tapioca flour. It is one of my staples.
Look at that. And look how much I just thickened that right up.
Just making it like a little gravy.
Yeah.
That's like tater gravy. After this is done, which you did a great job.
Thanks.
I mean, this is amazing. This is just like I like it. See, all the compliments you can give while cooking together. That feeds your brain. It does. Because it lives there then. You're like, oh, I'm a good kale cooker.
I am a good kale cooker. I am a neat guy and a good kale cooker.
This is true. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. You can use any kind of milk, plant-based milk. So now I'm going to add one of my favorite ingredients, which is leeks. And I went ahead and sauteed these. They take a little bit, so you can do this the night before, or you can also freeze them So you can take little increments of them, which I love to do. I put them in ice cube trays, and I just pop them out as I go.
Super smart.
Yeah. And I'm going to moisten it up a little bit with, again, this is green chili enchilada sauce. Here we go. This is, do you remember what that is?
Yeah, that's your tapioca root, right?
Tapioca flour, yep.
Tapioca flour.
So it's gluten-free, but it actually acts as a binder. Here's what we do. So basically we're gonna form these into a little ball. They're never gonna go perfect, so just kind of set yourself up for that.
They don't have to.
No, nothing has to be perfect. Dive in.
Yeah. I'm gonna
You're
do it.
scared? Don't get your pants dirty.
Well, I mean, so it really started for me when I was very young. My birth father died by suicide when I was 6 years old. And so I started off, with, just being like thrust into like traumatic experiences, and that caused a lot of anxiety, and, I was really angry when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just because I just didn't know how to deal. We were poor and we didn't have a lot of resources. So it was just kind of like survival mode, right?
Right.
And because I didn't learn skill sets how to deal with that trauma, it just been following me all throughout my early childhood into high school, and that's really when things came to a head for me, when I became really depressed and actually became suicidal myself. It's very fortunate to have my mom, kind of seen what my father had been through.
Right.
She took me to the doctor, and that was the first time I ever had a name for what it was I was going through.
Okay.
All these things I felt different my whole life.
Right.
And learn how to wear this mask and pretend to be like everyone else. So that kind of diagnosis was a big shift for me in understanding I'm not crazy. I'm not someone who's broken. I have some brain chemistry that needs extra support.
Right. Right.
So that was really the beginning of it.
Thank God for your mom.
Oh man, she's a saint.
She's a staple.
She is. My mom.
Good moms, and it's almost Mother's Day. So
It is almost Mother's Day.
That's a good plug
Yeah.
for Mama. So these brain cakes are done. And what's so cool about them is you can just tell they're just crispy. They're going to hold together pretty nicely.
Yeah.
You can mix this with an amazing amount of things. I've been accused of adding, sweet things with this as well. So one of my ideas with this would be to grill some peaches with some cinnamon. And I love just a little agave syrup on top of my peaches. A lot of people like applesauce and sour cream with their potato pancakes.
Yeah.
So I have the tofu sour cream. I don't have any applesauce today, but that's an idea for you guys at home. I'm going to actually add something really, really special. This is my friend that owns a vineyard. She made this tomato jam, and it's amazing. It's called Prolific Vineyards.
Okay.
And she makes the most amazing tomato jam, and it has a little bit of sweetness in it.
Which is perfectly kind of like what you were talking about, adding a little bit of that sweetness to.
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna add all 4 of the spices. So what I've done is I just kind of lined them up in the middle because I don't want one spice to take over too much. So each bite, you can actually have a different little spice, but you can make your appetizer plate like this, and people are like, this is just so much flavor. What is it? But I've got the tahini dressing, I've got the tomato jam, I've got a little bit of the tofu sour cream, and I've got the habanero salsa. So you've got all kinds of palate, and you've got a lot of potato leek to go ahead and deal with, and you
Nice fat with the avocado.
right,
Yeah.
healthy fat.
Yeah.
You have to be the taste tester.
I eat
I'm
these
pretty sure. And
forever. Eggs were my go-to for breakfast, and since I have become plant-based, I've just been lacking in breakfast, morning time stuff that I can make. This is perfect.
yes. See? It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
Good stuff.
brain cakes.
Food cheers.
Okay, so what do you have planned this week? What's going on with No Stigmas?
So we're part of this really cool campaign called the No Brainer campaign, KNOW. So if you look up hashtag No Brainer,
Okay.
it's a company called MedCircle that's all about mental health, and they're like a trusted source for mental health education.
Okay.
They're putting up $5 million,
Wow.
yeah, to donate to charities like No Stigmas. They're doing this educational video about the amygdala, which is part of your brain. It's an important part of your brain that we don't talk about a lot.
Okay.
So you watch the video, vote for No Stigmas, and for every vote, we get $1 up to $5 million bucks. So super cool. So
We need votes.
We need votes. So learn about your brain, vote for No Stigmas, and then this campaign actually goes from starting next week. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and goes through the end of the year. So super cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you're blessed with to be able to feel others' pain and then yet still help them go through it. But I'm really glad you're involved with this organization. It's a great cause, and I'm really glad to have you on as a guest. So
Thanks. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, so we're feeding our souls, our minds, and we're sharing it together with you guys. And so my Vegriends are now your Vegriends too.
All right.
So subscribe to this channel, and then we'll chat with you later. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.